Wooden Tank Engine and Friends, Wooden Railway Stories, Season 1, Episode 3, Gordon, Murdoch and the Express. Gordon is a big blue express engine. He is the fastest engine on the island of Sodor. He pulls the express from the big station all around Sodor. Gordon is known for his speed. He is also known for the number 4 on his tender. He is one of the only engines who can pull the express. Murdoch is a heavy goods engine. He pulls all of the heavy goods trains on Sodor. Unlike Gordon, he always takes trucks in goods trains instead of passengers in the express. He has a brown goldish orangey coat, and he has a name tag instead of a number. He is more strong than fast, while Gordon is more fast than strong. One night, all the engines were at Tidmouth sheds, when Edward arrived back late. "You're back quite late, aren't you?" said Emily. "I know," said Edward. "I had to help Murdoch with a goods train up Gordon's Hill. It was a nightmare, I tell you." "Well, it would be if you had to help him up the hill," said Gordon. "It's not like you've never had to be pushed up the hill," said Henry. "I've barely been pushed up that hill," said Gordon. "Ha, that's a lie," said Percy. "Edward had to push you up 3 times last week." "Yes, well, that was different," said Gordon. "I was with the express, not some silly goods train." Murdoch had arrived to thank Edward for helping him up Gordon's Hill. Nobody at Tidmouth sheds noticed him. Thought Murdoch. "They're talking about me. Maybe I shouldn't go up to them right away." And Murdoch waited and listened. "Murdoch is a waste of steam," said Gordon. "He only takes goods trains. I take passengers. End of." Murdoch felt terrible. "I only take goods trains," he said. "Yes, but it's not my fault." And Murdoch wished away sadly. The next morning, Murdoch was at the docks, talking to Arthur. Salty was busy shunting the rest of Murdoch's goods train into place. "All finished for you," said Salty. "Thank you, Salty," said Murdoch. "Is there something wrong, matey?" asked Salty. "Yes," said Murdoch, "as a matter of fact." And Murdoch explained to Arthur and Salty about what Gordon had said last night. "Oh, take no notice of him," said Arthur. "He's just jealous. He talks about that to every engine." "Really?" said Murdoch. "Are you sure?" "Yes. When Duck arrived the other day, he told me how he had spoken rudely about Edward, and his rude remarks ended up with him being pushed by Edward in the middle of Duck's train and his own." "Oh, I remember how Edward told me that story. It was funny," said Arthur. "Well, I suppose I shouldn't let that get to the front of my boiler," said Murdoch. And he got ready to take his goods train. He was coupled on and steamed away. Gordon was grumbling horribly as he steamed along the line with the express. "Why have I been diverted?" he said. "It's undignified." He soon found out. As he arrived at a junction, he looked ahead. There was Murdoch steaming along with his heavy goods train. Gordon could not believe his eyes. "I was held up for a goods engine," he said. "Must be," said his driver. It's a disgrace, said Gordon. I won't allow it. And he zoomed away. But on the way, the points up ahead had been set in the wrong direction. So instead of going to the station, Gordon was diverted to Gordon's Hill. Botheration, he exclaimed. My passengers won't like this at all, he said as he climbed the hill. The express was incredibly heavy today, and Gordon stopped halfway up. Oh, bother, he exclaimed. Down the line was Murdoch, still taking his heavy goods train to the station. On the way, Murdoch stopped. What's that? He asked. He could see that Gordon was stuck on the hill. Don't worry, Gordon, I'm on my way, called Murdoch. And he raced through the junction. Oh, the indignity, groaned Gordon. Murdoch soon arrived to help push Gordon up the hill. Are you ready? He called. Suppose so, he said. And slowly but surely, Murdoch began to push Gordon and the heavy express up the hill. And before he knew it, Gordon was going up and over the top of the hill. And from then on, Murdoch pushed Gordon to the station. Oh no, groaned Gordon. Not by Tidmouth Shed. That's right, said Murdoch. And all the engines laughed. I thought you said you didn't need a back engine, called Thomas. I don't. I can manage the rest of the journey myself, said Gordon crossly. So when Gordon arrived at the dock, Murdoch was uncoupled from the express. So the plan worked then, did it? Said Arthur. Seems so, said Salty. It certainly did, smiled Murdoch. And from then on, there was no more talk about how unreliable a goods engine can be. Because they can always save the day when you get stuck on a hill.